A 3-year-old boy died early Friday after accidentally shot himself in the head. The Jefferson County Coroner's Office identified the boy as Caden Goldman. At 12:55 a.m. on the 30th of June, authorities responded to a residence in the Forest Hills Village Apartments complex at 2615 Tempest Drive Southwest in Birmingham, Alabama, on a report that a child had been shot. When medics arrived, they found an unresponsive boy inside the premises with a gunshot wound. He was transported to the Children's of Alabama Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 1:55 a.m. Authorities said it appears that the child was in the care of an adult and left the boy in the room by himself for a moment when he got hold of a gun and accidentally shot himself. Birmingham police are investigating. Caden's mother, Adriana Jones, said she's devastated by his death. She described Caden as smart and intelligent. He loved the idea that when he was old enough that he wanted to play soccer, she said. He liked going to the park and had a crazy obsession for dinosaurs. Adriana said Caden was a big brother to his sister Kaylee and an excellent son. He loved fruit and vegetables and he loved to dance. My baby was so independent and he knew exactly what he wanted, Adriana said. He was a good child. No, he was an excellent child. To know him is to love him. He was an amazing person, she said. A 65-year-old woman is behind bars after she fatally stabbed her adult daughter. And just before midnight on Monday the 26th of June, authorities went to 2527 Keene Road in Memphis, Tennessee after receiving a suspicious person call. When officers arrived, they found an unresponsive woman in the driveway covered in blood with multiple stab wounds and a trail of blood leading from the carport door to the street. Paramedics pronounced the victim, 50-year-old Conju Garrett, dead at 12:22 a.m. Authorities said that Conju lived with a disability and could not walk. Investigators spoke with Conju's mother, Carolyn Garrett, and told them that she killed an alien who was trying to take her children. Carolyn's 27-year-old son, Kenyatta Townsend, told police that she told him that she'd killed the devil. Police arrested Carolyn, and while speaking with investigators, she said she heard some voices coming from the wall telling her to kill her daughter. Carolyn retrieved her knife from the kitchen and started cutting Conju on the back of her neck and back area. She then dragged her from the street and left her on the curb. Carolyn then cleaned up the blood inside the home and left the towels and sheets she used outside. Carolyn is charged with first-degree murder, and she's held at the Shelby County Jail on a $500,000 bond, and a mental evaluation has been ordered. The investigation into the matter continues. A 36-year-old man is behind bars on suspicion of fatally beating and stabbing his 64-year-old mother. At 9:13 p.m. on Sunday the 11th of June, authorities responded to an apartment at 3725 Northeast 169th Street in North Miami Beach, Florida, where they found Connie Questa deceased. At the scene, officers met with the victim's spouse and the victim's son, Sean Questa, who were outside the home. The victim's husband told officers he discovered his wife unconscious on the bedroom floor with no shirt and her pants lowered to her knees, and she was cold to touch. The spouse called a family friend, who went to the home and also saw Connie Questa's body. A neighbour told police that from around 10 a.m. on the 11th of June until early evening, he heard loud banging and yelling coming from their family's apartment. He said the neighbour alerted the victim's spouse about the noises and called law enforcement. On the 12th of June, police interviewed Sean, noticing visible scratches on his arms and a laceration to his forehead. Sean told officers that he lived with his mother on and off for many years, and he'd been staying with her for the past several weeks. He said that he was with his mother all day on the 11th of June and left sometime between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. to buy food. Police allege, however, that Sean and his mother got into an argument that eventually turned physical. Police said that Sean threw items inside the apartment before severely striking his mother in the head, face and body with multiple blunt objects, including empty wine bottles that were found by the victim's body. Police noted that one of the empty wine bottles had a towel wrapped around the neck, which ultimately resulted in the victim's death. After hitting his mother, authorities said that Sean used a knife to stab her 4 times in the left temple. Police recovered the knife, which was found in Sean's backpack. The victim's extensive injuries caused her to bleed extensively on the floors of the living room and master bedroom. Sean then tried to clean up the blood with a towel and a rag before he showered and fled the scene. The medical examiner determined that Connie died from internal bleeding resulting from internal organs being lacerated from blunt force trauma. Following his interview with police, Sean reportedly went to his aunt's house. Police said his aunt became concerned about his behaviour and called police, who transported Sean to Citrus Health Facility. On the 16th of June, police said Sean's aunt went to the North Miami Beach Police Department station and told investigators that on the 12th of June, Sean called her from a gas station landline and said, "I killed my mother." Sean was released from the health facility on the 16th of June, and Sean later turned himself into police at just before 11 a.m. on Thursday the 29th of June. Sean was booked into the Miami-Dade County Jail on charges of second-degree murder, battery by strangulation and aggravated battery. He remains held without bond. Authorities said that at the time Sean was taken into custody, he was already in probation for domestic and aggravated battery for a separate incident. The investigation into the matter continues. Authorities are investigating after a 34-year-old man was fatally shot during an altercation. At just before 1 a.m. on Thursday the 29th of June, police responded to a home in the 200 block of South Minnesota Avenue in Wichita, Kansas on reports of a disturbance. When officers arrived, they found Nicholas Hardcastle critically injured inside the premises with a gunshot wound, and the shooter was still at the scene. Nicholas was rushed to a local hospital but died a short time later. Wichita Police Department said that two friends who were both armed got into a verbal dispute, which led to a physical altercation and a shot was fired. Police have indicated that alcohol was involved. During questioning, investigators said that a person admitted to the shooting but claimed self-defense. Authorities have not released the shooter's name or indicated what the argument was about. Police are still investigating the matter and will present the case to the District Attorney's Office to determine whether charges will be filed. A 32-year-old man is behind bars after police stopped an attempted murder-suicide of the man and his son. On the 23rd of June, authorities responded to a home in the 9800 block of Copperhead Lane in McKinney, Texas, near Black Bear Drive, after police said that Kendall Thigpeg Watson's made threats to hang himself and his 8-year-old son. When officers arrived, they found Kendall and the boy hanging from a staircase baluster. The officers immediately cut the rope and provided medical attention to the father and son, before transporting them to a local hospital. The boy was later released. Kendall was arrested and charged with attempted capital murder, and is held at the Collin County Jail with his bail set at $300,000. Authorities are investigating after a 32-year-old man was found fatally shot. At around 1:35 a.m. on Friday the 30th of June, authorities responded to the 1000 block of Quebec Place in the Petworth neighbourhood of Washington, D.C. on reports of shots fired. When officers arrived at the scene, they found a victim unresponsive with gunshot wounds to the upper body. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. He was identified as Tymir Roberts. No suspects or motives have been identified, as the investigation into the matter continues.